Welcome to District Dialogues. I am Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr., representing District 5 in Fulton County. District 5 encompasses parts of the new city of South Fulton, Southwest and Southeast Atlanta, East Point, Union City, and College Park. Some of the great landmarks in District 5 include Zoo Atlanta, the former Fort McPherson, which is now home to the new Tyler Perry Studio, the Porsche headquarters, Camp Creek Marketplace, and my favorite, the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. During this show, we hope to share information about organizations, initiatives, and resources in District 5 and in Fulton County, and for areas that I champion. So let's get straight to it. I am a proud member of the Justice and Public Safety Committee for the National Association of Counties, also known as NACO. In our Justice and Public Safety segment of the show, we like to share information from our partners that provide resources and information about justice and public safety. Today, please meet Ms. Nathalise Robinson, Director of Operations and Staff Attorney for the Fulton County Casa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so for the viewing audience, tell us, what is Casa? I'm familiar with it because in my day job as an attorney, I've had the great pleasure to work with Casa volunteers. But please tell us, what is the Casa program?
So first off, CASA is an acronym. It stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization in the Fulton County Juvenile Court, and we're a volunteer-based program that appoints community volunteers to advocate for foster children.
Wow, that is great work that you guys do with a great mission and goal and purpose. So who can become a CASA volunteer, and what steps must they take in order to become a CASA volunteer?
Right, so that's the exciting part. Anyone can become a CASA volunteer who is over the age of 21. It doesn't matter your educational background or your work experiences. We can provide the training that is necessary for you to have all the skills you need to be a wonderful advocate. Our training program is 5 weeks long. It's 50% online and 50% in-person classes in the juvenile courthouse. And after you complete the training, one of our 7 juvenile court judges will swear you in, and you'll be assigned to a case.
Awesome. And what are the responsibilities that a CASA volunteer would have to undertake?
So CASA volunteers are responsible for seeing their child in their foster home at least once a month. They're responsible for attending court hearings and writing court reports, because ultimately they are an officer of the court and they are giving their own perspective on recommendations so that the judge can feel more informed and empowered to make good decisions based on real-world information for that particular child and family.
And I mean, I know why this work is important, and I'm just so glad but that you all are doing it. Do you find it hard to recruit volunteers?
We absolutely do, and that's why I go everywhere I possibly can to tell people about our mission and our purpose, because we need volunteers. Right now, Fulton Casa is only serving about 1/3 of the children in foster care. Every year, about 1,200 children enter and exit foster care. And we are at a point where we are not able to serve the children, and we want to change that. So if you have friends, if you have constituents, if you have loved ones, if you have church members, people in civic organizations, we're calling on all of them to become CASA volunteers. The work and the investment is a wonderful investment into the return that actually does come.
And for those that are watching that may not be able to volunteer their time, are there other ways that they can help?
So we definitely let people know that talking to someone else about CASA is one of the best things that you can do for us. Right now, so many people do not know about the work of CASA. So sharing what you heard on this show today, sharing what you've read on our website, www.fultoncountycasa.org, sharing all of the information that you know about foster care and the system and the Fulton Juvenile Court will help us get the word out. We are an organization that thrives on donations and grant funding, and we really like for people to know about the work that we do because they can decide how to support us once they have all of the right information.
Well, thank you for being here with us today, Ms. Robinson, and thank you for all of the great work that you do through the Casa program. It is an absolute great program, and certainly glad that you and others are helping. And I assume people, if they want to make donations, they can do that through your website.
Absolutely, they sure can.
Well, thank you so much again for being here today.
Thank you.
We'll be back with our D5 Spotlight. Please stay with us. In our D5 Spotlight, we give recognition to organizations and individuals who are striving to empower our communities and our county. Our next guest is Sean Golden, founder of Golden Opportunity, and Phil Proctor, media coordinator. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
So please tell our viewing audience, what is Golden Opportunity?
Well, Golden Opportunity is a character building goal setting program. We go into the schools, we do school assemblies, after school programs, we do community outreaches, and we challenge the kids embracing the importance of character building, embracing strong character, and also setting goals.
And how many students did you help and present to or in this past year in 2017?
Well, in 2017, we presented close to 86,000 students in South Carolina, North Carolina, definitely here in the state of Georgia, in Atlanta. We were able to go into all the school districts. We have a lot of fun with the students. We sing, we dance, but we challenge the kids to get out of their comfort zone. We have an interesting way of really engaging with the students, because here's the thing, golden opportunities are presented to the students each and every day. But when you don't embrace that golden opportunity, it doesn't disappear. It just goes to someone else.
And what are your goals and visions for Golden Opportunity?
Well, our goals are to, number one, to continue to keep going into the school districts. The biggest goal here in the state of Georgia and here, definitely here in Atlanta, we want to go into every school district. We want to definitely be throughout Fulton County, in Fayette County, in Douglas County. We want to be into the schools because we work with kids, elementary schools, 3 through 5, all middle school, and all high school. We want to capture the data, and that's why we have Mr. Phil Proctor here, because he's really good at capturing the data. We connect with the students, we connect with the leaders in the community to help build these kids from elementary school, because think about it. If you can get a kid to write down his or her goals at the age of 7 or 8 or 9 years old and continue that all the way through high school, what a difference we'll make in these kids' lives, and you'll see growth in their abilities in the future.
You know, that's so important because a lot of our children don't have any goals, and without those goals and without those expectations, that's why they wind up lost. So tell us about some of your sponsors and what their presence or how their presence benefits Golden Opportunity.
Well, our biggest sponsors have been a combination between Walmart and also McDonald's, and lately here, Academy Sports and Outdoors. But one of our biggest partnerships has always been with Mr. Phil Proctor. Phil Proctor is very instrumental in what we do with his Real Men TV segment, and I'll let Phil tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, we just know that when Sean goes into these schools, into these certain areas, you know that there are going to be men in that community that are really vital to making it work. What Real Men TV looks to do is, our mission statement is empowering families and communities one man at a time through mentoring and education. Well, that's exactly what Sean is doing. So we had a conversation about 4 years ago, said, look, why don't we just partner up? You go in, you do the presentation to the schools, we'll document it, we shoot everything, then we'll just kind of create a database. So when kids want to go back to say, okay, what is it that they did at this school, we can actually create this database to allow you to link into it, see what he was talking about, and to be able to take the goal setting that Sean has taught that day and see how it implements into your life.
Awesome. And We talked about trying to expand. Is this a nonprofit?
Yeah, we're a 501(c), and we've had our status now for the last year, but we've been around for about 3 years now. So I know that was a process, but now we're up and running. We're getting grants. We're aggressively going for grants. And you talked about our partnerships. One of the things we have with Academy Sports allows us to go into schools around the area. But at the end of the school year, the schools that we actually ventured into, one student that showed growth in character, the kids get a goal card. They have to write down their personal goals, their academic goals, and then their life goals. The kids sign it and date it. Mom, dad, or their guardian signs it and dates it. Your coach or your mentor, your teacher or your counselor, then 5 of your friends initially. We're teaching these kids to build a support group. Yeah. And on top of that, write down your goals. But now we have our sponsors come in. Academy Sports is giving a $100 shopping spree to one kid who's fought really hard to reach their goals. McDonald's, they do things like, if you complete this goal exercise, buy a signature crafted sandwich, get a free small fry and a free small drink. Now, we're rewarding these students just for writing down their goals, right. And that's huge. And then we have all kind of gift cards. These kids come on stage, and we get them out of their comfort zone. I can't sing, he can't sing, but we show the kids, if you break outside of your comfort zone, life will reward you. But don't look for the reward, look for that golden opportunity when it presents itself. Because our tagline is this: every day you have a golden opportunity to do something special. Go make a difference.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So what kind of data is being collected when you're collecting the data? Tell us what parameters or items you're looking at.
Well, a lot of things that you can do. One of the things is that you get a response from teachers and principals and administrators about how they receive the program. So we actually get a chance to interview them to talk about, hey, you just saw Sean do his program. What do you think about the program? And it kind of helps Sean develop even more, or he can tailor a specific program to a specific school. Because one day we were in the inner city of Greenville, and next thing I know, Sean's got me 40 miles outside of Greenville. I saw nothing but woods. I'm going, where are we going? But there was a school out, and he had actually altered his program to address the needs of those students as well. So by having some of the teachers and administrators to get their interview, to get their perspective on the program, and then also we asked the kids, what did you enjoy about the program? What didn't you like? How was Mr. Golden? Do you want him to come back? So that gives us a chance to kind of put all this together, and then, like I said, he can alter the program if he needs to. But at this point, we're just trying to get as much, information from the students and from the faculty so we can continue to deliver the program.
And then to piggyback on what Phil said, think about this. Again, we talked about gold cards. You have a gold card in your hand at the beginning of the school year. Academically, how can I become a better student? How can I become a better person? If you want to be a basketball player, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you write that stuff on paper. You talk about data, and you're a counselor. Now, this kid is coming to you, and they're bringing something that you may not know that what they want to achieve. That kid's parents at home, that mother, that father, or that guardian, now they can hold kids accountable. And one thing I learned, I was a former basketball player and coach at the University of Georgia. I was a college coach over 20 years. But one thing I learned throughout my years is when you have a chance to show kids what they want to achieve and hold them accountable to what they want to achieve, right, I think they'll work harder. Instead of telling them what they want to do, encourage them to write it down on paper.
Yes. It is amazing what writing something down on paper, particularly your goals, and then being able to check in on them and follow up on them at the end of the year or at the beginning of the next year, how that'll help keep you on track. So we thank you for all your work that you're doing in the community. If you will, tell us what would be the perfect outreach in Fulton County and surrounding school districts?
Well, one of the perfect outreach, we experienced something close to Charlotte, North Carolina. But it starts at the top. It starts with coming in and doing a program like this to try to feed the seed to those administrators who want to thrive with programs like this. Then you go to the school superintendent to show him or her how it can happen. Then you get the administrators on board. Then we go in, we have a community blitz. I'm not the only speaker, but I have speakers that come in with the same model, with the same thought process, with the same energy, with the same vibe, yeah, teaching these kids something consistent along the path, but telling their personal story. You tell your personal story. One of the things I tell the kids, I'm adopted. But when telling them that, we were able to touch more kids than you can imagine. Yes. Then once we get the administrators on board, you get the teachers on board, because now we're going into the schools, and it's mandatory for all the schools to embrace it. Each program lasts for 45 minutes. But in that 45-minute time, we can do a lot of good things. Right. Now you leave in gold cards, and you've got Academy, you've got McDonald's, you've got the Walmarts, and we've got some other sponsors we're working on to come in. But we get everyone because it takes a tribe to raise one. And once you get everybody around to get these kids on the same path, it's easier. I was at a forum you did about a year ago at one of the churches off Cascade Road, and it stuck to me. You said that in Fulton County, from the ages of 18 to 26, the crime rate is 15% higher than the national average. That's huge. That hit me home, but a lot of those kids didn't get the infrastructure which is needed. Right. And that's why we do a good job, and when Proctor comes in with Real Men TV, it's just a great marriage and a great partnership.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for coming out today. Thank you for the great work that you're doing in our community for our youth. We'll be right back after this short break, so please stay with us. I am proud to serve as the executive sponsor of Arts and Culture in Fulton County. I also serve as the vice chair of the Atlanta-Fulton County Recreation Authority and as a member of the Arts Commission for the National Association of Counties, or NACO. As such, I like to share with you arts and culture organizations and programs and initiatives in Fulton County. Today, please meet Joan Baptist of Radio Free Georgia, WRFG. Welcome to the show, Ms. Baptist.
Welcome. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
So WRFG 89.3 FM is a non-commercial, non-profit community station. How long has it been broadcasting?
Well, this year we celebrate our 45th year of broadcasting. And we're very proud of that because I think, have served the Fulton County community in a very special way. And 45 years is a long time for a community station to still be around and still standing strong. Yes,
I remember, I know I've been listening for at least 25 or 30 years, so that you all have been providing great programming, so thank you for that.
Oh, our pleasure.
And 45 years is a rich history.
Yes.
What is the mission of WRFG?
WRFG provides a voice for those that historically have been denied access to the broadcast media based upon class, race, sex, age, sexual orientation, creed, immigrant status, and disability. So that's a lot of people. That's a broad spectrum of people.
Yes.
And you know, there's just so many people with so much to contribute, so much to say, so many talents out there that don't ever get heard. So that's our job.
Well, you know, I know you guys have found the secret to success because you've been going for 45 years. But tell us about your programming format. I think, you know, the uniqueness of your programming format may be part of your success and part of the reason that you've been able to stay around for 45 years.
I absolutely think that's true. Most stations have a one format, like, you know, all jazz or all talk or whatever. But we combine a little bit of everything. We have music programs that span the world, really. We have programs with African music, Latin American, Celtic music from India, Caribbean music, and then we have all the other kinds like jazz, blues, hip hop, R&B, music from Louisiana, bluegrass. We play a little bit of everything, and we also have a lot of different talk shows on all different topics, mainly a lot of community voices that have stories to tell or engaged in activities that are really aimed at helping people. So we really, our programming, I think, is probably the most eclectic, unique in the region. I really think so.
Well, and the great thing about that is that all those different groups bring their own audiences. And I think, WRFG has done a great job of benefiting from not only providing an outlet for those artists, but also from being able to take advantage of the different groups that they bring to the table.
It's so true. I mean, people who do like commercial radio have kind of come to us and say, well, you can make a lot more money if you become one format. Who do you give up? I mean, that's not us,
Right.
And I think that's the importance of us being independent. We're not chasing the dollar. We still have to pay bills and everything, but we're not beholden to any big money to make us, just narrow our focus of what communities we're going to serve. Because we love everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we do, and we're not going to give up, our eclectic programming, to chase the dollar.
Right. So how does WRFG assist in the cultural development in Fulton County?
That's a big question. First off, thank you to Fulton County for playing such an active role in keeping arts and culture going. Culture is such a powerful medium, and not just music, but all forms of art and culture is really powerful. Makes you laugh, makes you cry, transports you to another time and place. I mean, it's really, really powerful. And I think it can actually really influence the way people think about things. But I think one of the most powerful things it does is it introduces people to each other. There's a whole world out there. And I know we kind of grow up, we know our families, we know our neighborhoods and our schools, but we don't always know that there's a whole world out there of all these wonderful cultures and everything that exists. So I like to think that WRFG really kind of plays a role in building bridges between people, introducing people to each other, and really tearing down walls, the artificial walls that exist, because we live in a rough society. I mean, where there's all these divisions that take place, and I think every day they kind of think of new and better ways to keep people divided. But culture plays a role of bringing people together, introducing people to each other. And I like to think that that's what WFG does.
Well, I like that. I don't know if our president would like you tearing down walls, but I like it.
Oh, you caught that, huh?
How can people help WRFG continue with its mission?
Well, the first thing is listening. You'll find something you like. I mean, it's, our program guide is so eclectic. If you hear one thing and you're like, I'm not really into that music or whatever, you'll find something somewhere. I mean, we play doo-wop music. There's something for everybody. You'll hear talk shows where even if you disagree with somebody's opinion of who's being interviewed or whatever, the fact that they're able to say that, and it's not ripped from some international or national news medium where everybody's always saying the same thing, WRFG, if you just listen, you'll find something you love, and you'll appreciate the independence that we do have. Everybody on our airwaves is a volunteer, and they also help in the office, they help on events, they help with, our main source of income is pledge drives. So they help with pledge drives and everything. So volunteering is a big part of what makes WRFG WRFG and keeps us going, keeps us strong. We have 2 paid staff.
Wow.
2 paid staff running 24/7 radio station, So we couldn't survive without the volunteers. And I feel very strongly that the volunteers, some have been on air for a month. Some have been on for the whole 45 years. But they're doing it as a labor of love. And I think that's a whole different ballgame than doing it for a paycheck. And so, you know, you get a certain quality, you get things that they cherish, you know, they bring people, you know. So
Right.
I think how you help WFG is help get the word out about us. I mean, we don't have a huge budget where we can do a lot of, you know, marketing and stuff. So we rely on the volunteers, we rely on the listeners for helping get the word out about us. If people want more information, they can always go to our website at wfg.org and see our program guide, you know, learn how to volunteer, you know, and how to help.
Well, thank you. I definitely want to invite all of our viewing audience to visit their website, wrfg.org. Thank you, Ms. Baptist, for coming out today and joining us on the show. And thank you for all of the great work that you do with Radio Free Georgia and providing an outlet to artists that don't have any other outlet.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. When we come back, our motivational moment segment. Stay with us.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
As we close out today's show, we would like to receive words of inspiration and motivation.
Hello, I just want to come and give you some encouraging words on this day. I want you to know on the day that you have more on your side. In this world, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's all chaos and confusion, but I want you to know the Bible says, if God be for us, who can be against us? And I just want somebody to know today that you got more on your side. You have more of God's grace, you have more of God's love, and you have more of God's mercy. The children of Israel were surrounded by the enemy. Amen. And they were told that they had to go over to the sea. Amen. But the Bible declares that Moses said to them, listen, fear not. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, for the Lord will fight your battle. And that's good news for somebody today. God is getting ready to fight your battle. You don't have to worry about it. You can go to sleep at night because God is getting ready to fight for you.
As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to invite you to stay connected with my office. You can reach us by phone, email, website, and through our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for watching District Dialogues. We'll see you next time.